Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to share with you some alternatives to retinol. Other options in the retinoid community should you have been a little bit shocked and worried by the European Union's recent decision to restrict retinol sales over the counter. This restriction is going to have a significant impact on some of the biggest brands. And maybe you're in the European Union and looking for an alternative. Maybe you're outside the European Union, but have kind of started to worry whether retinol is right for you and you want to look for some other alternatives. Whatever your motivation, know that there are some other great anti-aging alternatives to retinol that exist on the market. Some of them are even more effective. So sit back, relax, let's talk some alternatives to retinol. Now, before we get into this video, I would love to get the conversation going in the comment section below. So let me know what your preferred retinoid is. What products do you reach for? What results have you seen? I always say these are just my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and I really do want to hear yours. So stand up in the comment section below. Whatever your thoughts on retinol and its alternatives, if you enjoy this style of content, don't forget to let me know by reaching down, give this video a big thumbs up and a like. This is also the best way of getting this message out there loud and clear, because the more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So retinol is just one of the family of retinoids. These are all vitamin A derivatives and they all work in a similar but also subtly different ways. Ultimately, they'll increase cell turnover, which is fantastic, eradicating hyperpigmentation, smoothing out the surface of the skin. So they can also increase the rate of collagen and elastin production, wonderful at minimizing fine lines and wrinkles. Certain vitamin A derivatives are also potent antioxidants and they've got a lot of benefits, which is why people often consider them to be non-negotiable in a good anti-aging skincare routine. However, not all vitamin A derivatives are created equal, and I think whilst retinol is certainly the most popular in terms of unit sales, I don't think, in my opinion, it's actually the best. And this is why I think with these restrictions from the European Union coming in, it's a great opportunity to discuss those alternatives to help you guys work out what's the right option for your individual skin's needs. As with everything in skincare, just remember there is no right or wrong answer. We all have different budgets, skin types, and approaches to skincare. So always use what works for you in skincare, which is why hopefully this video is kind of informative of laying out all the various options to you. So if you were looking to move away from retinol, be it because of these restrictions coming in, or just generally you want to try something a little bit different, there are lots of different options. So first and foremost, you can of course subscribe to some of the prescription online services which now exist. Now these were unheard of just 5 years ago, which meant that a lot of the prescription strength retinoids just weren't available to us, the consumer. Things have definitely changed. If you can't find the time or the money to go visit a dermatologist to get your prescription, you can often do it online with a consultation. Brands such as Curology, Dermatica, and so many other different ones now offer you the opportunity to get tretinoin, also known by its brand name Retinol, to your door without the need of going to visit a dermatologist. Now, tretinoin is the most potent of the retinoids. That's because it is retinoic acid, which is what our skin needs in order to deliver all the wonderful benefits I outlined earlier. All the other products that I'm going to come on from this point in the video need to go through conversions in the skin to get to that retinoic acid to deliver these benefits, so they can lose some potency along the way. So often people will say tretinoin is like the gold standard in anti-aging, and this definitely has been the experience for a lot of people out there. So if you're looking to move away from retinol and take it up a notch, it's definitely worth exploring some of these subscription services that can deliver the prescription strength options over the counter. For me, this wasn't an option because I've tried tretinoin over the years in consultation with my dermatologist and my skin just never really got on with it. Now, this is my skin we're talking about. Lots of people get great results, but it's always worth remembering not every ingredient is going to work the same for every single person. I'm not the biggest fan of these subscription services. I often find that you end up getting way more product than you actually need. You don't get through it as quick as maybe the brand think you're gonna. You end up with a stockpile. I also sometimes I get about bored. I'm a bit fickle, I like to mix it up, and it can be sometimes quite difficult to cancel these subscriptions. So there are some caveats with this, but it could be a great option if you're looking to go for super high potency and know that now you don't always need that dermatologist visit. You can often get it online. I'll leave some links to some of these subscription services below. I know they do a lot of sponsorship with content creators here on YouTube, but just to be fully transparent. I don't have any affiliation with any of these subscription services. I never have done, and I never will do. So this is just my honest thoughts and opinions, and I've left those links there more for convenience for you guys if you did want to check them out. Lots of people get great results with tretinoin. That wasn't for me, something I captured in a recent video, which I'll link up there, but definitely one to consider. Now, if we're going in like the strength, the potency of these retinol alternatives, tretinoin is up here, super high potency, prescription strength. But I'd say the next rung down and much more easy to access is retinal. Now, very similar to retinol, it's only one letter difference, but it is an entirely different world. And that's because when I referenced earlier that whatever over-the-counter product you put on your skin, it has to go through conversions to get to the retinoic acid, which delivers the benefit. Well, retinal is closer in terms of its structure to retinoic acid than retinol. Goes through fewer conversions, so loses less of its potency. This is why when I heard that the EU was seeking to restrict retinol sales, I wasn't actually that alarmed because, well, I'm shopping from the UK, which is outside the European Union. But beyond just that, I actually think most people could benefit from swapping retinol for retinal for a whole host of different reasons. So studies have started to show it's much more effective, and there's data really driving this understanding. It's also shown to be much more gentle on the skin, better tolerated. So if you've used a retinol and got a lot of redness, sensitivity, irritation, you probably won't get the same results and same side effects with retinal, which is great. It's very rare in skincare that you find a switch that will deliver you better results with less irritation and side effects, but retinal is one of those rare occasions, which is why I love it. So we didn't used to have a lot of choice in the retinal market, but now we are inundated. And again, I think this is wonderful because I'm all about consumer choice. So I picked up 4 of my favorites that I want to share with you now. The first one is this. This is the Aven Physio Lift Serum, a great high potency retinal that's really easy to access in Europe. So if you're a European Union customer that's looking to make the switch from retinol to retinal due to these upcoming restrictions, this is a great easily to access product. Like I say, high potency, and they do a fragrance and a fragrance free version. I would go for the fragrance free because I made the mistake of buying the fragrance and it stinks. It's pretty potent. I don't like it at all. So if you can get the fragrance free version, I would go for that. But this is a really, really nice option that's easy to access in European pharmacies and comes at a relatively okay price point. Not the cheapest, but definitely packs a punch. If you want to go super drugstore, a product that's available globally is this. This is Geek and Gorgeous and their A-Game 10. Now, I love this because it's retinal in a real high dose concentration. Beautiful formulation. They now ship from the US, they ship from the UK, and they ship from Europe. So wherever you are in the world, the shipping is a lot less than it used to be, which I personally am really appreciative of. And I've had great results with Geek and Gorgeous. Definitely a standout brand, and this is probably the standout product from that standout brand, which is really, really good. 2 other options I want to call out is this. This is the Mad About Skin Ultimate Anti-Aging Oil. So I created, when I came up with my own retinoid, of course I went with retinal. I spoke in this video about how much I love this ingredient. So when it came to creating my product, of course I was going to pay it forward by offering you guys a retinal, which I just think for me is gold standard in over-the-counter options. And so in here you've got oat kernel extract, which is going to calm, soothe, prevent any inflammation. It's kind of minimizing further any risk of side effects. You've also got vitamin E to nourish and a powerful antioxidant, and a really good dose of that retinal for all its anti-aging benefits. Because this is in an oil, this is a great option. Just put a couple of pumps into your moisturizer on an evening, work it into the skin, and it's much more hydrating, less drying than some of the other options. So if you've got a dryness prone skin type, this is a great option, or just somebody that's looking for something a little different, a different texture and some extra hydration in their routine. I created this product with a really affordable price point because for me, the drugstore is where it's at, and I'm all about affordability. But just to make it even more affordable, we do have a bit of an offer going on at the moment where if you buy 2, you get a 3rd completely free of charge, so like 3 for the price of 2. All the information you need is in the description box below, as are links to all the products I've mentioned today. But yeah, a really great option if you're looking for some additional hydration, you want your retinal in an oil form, and you want to do it all on a budget. Now, finally, can we talk about the Medik8 Crystal Retinal collection? So I love Medik8, one of my favorite brands, and I love this range of products. They have different strengths, so you can start on the lower strength and work your way up, building your tolerance, and they're some of the best formulated retinals I've ever found. Best thing about this is, whilst it comes with a high price point, so this is the Crystal Retinal 10, it's around $100 in the US. Don't worry, because actually there's a discount code going at the moment for Medik8 where you can get 25% off. I'll leave all of that again in the description box below, but if you're tempted by Medik8 and you want to take advantage of 25% off, you can if you shop before. I think it runs out on the 5th of July. But again, another great option, high potency retinal. Now, whilst I might just have spent the best part of 6 or 7 minutes fangirling about retinal because I love it that much, there are some other alternatives beyond that too that I do want to showcase. So granactive retinoid is one of those up and coming retinoids that people are really starting to talk about now. It's very similar to retinal in terms of going through fewer conversions than retinol, meaning it loses less of that potency, and it tends to be better tolerated on the skin too. So great if you've got a more sensitive skin type, and shouldn't give you the same amount of dryness and sensitivity that retinol does. I still think I marginally prefer retinal, but granactive retinoid is another great option to have. A couple of my favourite products. This is the Dr. Sam Flawless Nightly Pro. This is the highest potency granactive retinoid you can buy on the market. So if you want like major anti-aging heavy lifting, this is a great option to go for. It's also really well formulated, really nourishing, hydrated, feels so good on the skin when you use it on an evening. Granactive retinoid is, I feel, one of those up and coming emerging ingredients I'm sure we see a lot more of in the next couple of months and years, but this is definitely proving that the Dr. Sam range is kind of streets ahead of a lot of its competitors. Going with a less known retinoid just give you maximum results. The Ordinary, though, do a granactive retinoid emulsion, which I haven't got on me, but I will leave an image of here, that again, I think is a really nice, affordable option. If your budget won't stretch to the Dr. Sam option, The Ordinary do it. I don't think it's quite as well formulated, but it's a fraction of the cost. So there's something there for every budget, and I would see granactive retinoid very similar to retinal in terms of giving very gentle, yet I think enhanced performance versus retinol. Finally, can we talk bakuchiol? Now, bakuchiol gets a bad reputation in the skincare community because a lot of people, I think over the years, it's been referred to as a natural alternative to retinol, and this gets people's backs up because, you know, natural doesn't always mean safe, it doesn't always mean effective, and we get all of that. But you don't just discount something because certain sections of the community have badged it as natural, because actually there are some data and studies behind bakuchiol to show how effective it can be. I think bakuchiol is going to work best for super sensitive skin types. You're not going to quite get the quick results as you will with some of the other retinol alternatives I've already talked about, but you'll get next to no irritation. So this is great for people that are starting out on their retinoid journey. Maybe they've got super sensitive skin and they're a little bit afraid to try any of the other higher potency options. Bakuchiol could be that hidden gem for you. There's lots of different ones on the market, but I would say just shop with brands that you trust, because there are a lot of bakuchiol serums that contain a minuscule amount of this ingredient, so you're not going to get the great results. For me, I think Medik8, which is a brand I've already mentioned in this video, knock it out the park when it comes to bakuchiol. Their bakuchiol peptide serum is great. Combines peptides and bakuchiol to give a kind of double down on the anti-aging benefit you're going to get. Set your expectations. It won't work as quick as some of the other retinoids. You maybe don't get the same results in the short term, but in the long term, it works really, really well. And what these studies that have been done into bakuchiol have shown that it can deliver very similar outcomes, albeit with a different mechanism of action as retinoids, and that it does so with a lot less irritation. Key thing though is you need to use it twice a day. So all the other ingredients I've mentioned today, once a day on an evening. Bakuchiol, you need to use twice a day to get the same results. So just bear that in mind. Make sure you use it in your morning and your evening skincare routine. But because it's so well tolerated, you shouldn't have any issues. So there you have it, guys. My alternatives to retinol. Whatever your motivation for looking for an alternative, maybe you want to try something with a higher potency. Maybe you've looking for alternatives as these restrictions imposed by the European Union come in. They're going to be phased in over the next 18 months. So you're not going to see your favorite product with retinol disappear like that. However, it's always worth considering some of the other options so you can be the best informed consumer possible and get the very best results for your skin. And hopefully this video has just helped you on that journey. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, love your skin. Take care. Bye.